Super Radio Brothers!
It's time for the Super Radio Brothers. I think the one just had an accident.
Yes, that's right. It's time for the Super Radio Brothers. If there was any doubt, broadcasting from strategic locations all across the empire. It's the Super Radio Brothers. What's up, Trent?
Hey, how are you? It is another day to be alive. It's another hot one down here in Central Florida, and my goodness, it seems like we are in the dog days of summer right now, Rich. I'm telling you right now, it is wild. It's hot. All we have on is baseball. We do have NBA free agency, and the summer league has already started, so that's a good thing. Yeah, I can, as a Magic fan, I can see my new draft pick in Paolo Banchero. Looking forward to seeing what he does with the team. But other than that, I mean, aside from sports, aside from the poop news, you know, there was a 4th of July holiday this past weekend, and we all had a long weekend. What'd you do? Did you burn any fingers off by shooting fireworks or anything like that?
Oh yeah, 4th of July, pretty cool. No, didn't. I had a bad experience when I was a kid with fireworks. We had those little, I don't know, just regular fireworks, the ones that go pop, 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 pop. You know those, Trent? Pop, 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 pop.
I mean, that's pretty much every firework. But
Is
yeah.
it? No, see, I'm thinking of a very specific one. It goes pop, 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 pop.
You talking about the bottle rockets, the smaller ones?
Those go pop. Right? That's what they do. Pop.
I don't know what's funnier, your explanation of that or just the sound that you made.
You know, it's funny. I'm making the fireworks sounds, and my dog just left the room. I think I gave her flashbacks, you know, the past couple of days. That's how realistic and good my firework impressions are. But no,
or she may have thought something was outside and wanted to go check it out.
That's one of the worst things about the 4th of July or any holiday, you know, New Year's with a bunch of fireworks. If you have an animal, it's the worst thing in the world for them. But yeah, the fireworks were going crazy over here, and she's having a little PTSD right now because of my reenactment. But they're basically, you know, they come in a little group, and there's like, I don't know, 8 of them, and they're small and they pop. Anyway, that blew up in my hand when I was a kid, Trent.
Ooh.
Just one of them though, and I remember I was lighting it because you light those and you throw them. Sometimes you throw them at your friends. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, I remember lighting one and it blew up in my hand, and I remember being warned as a kid. I must have been 8, 9 years old. Don't play with fireworks. You're gonna blow up, you know, destroy your hand, blow off your fingers, the whole thing. And of course, as a dumb kid, what do? I go out and I shoot fireworks without my parents knowing about it. One pops off in my hand. My hand's super numb. I can't feel it. I thought my whole hand blew off, but it didn't. It was still there. I was surprised to see my hand still there and just throbbing with pain, and eventually the feeling came back. But ever since that day, Trent, I learned my lesson, and I was lucky enough, a lot more lucky than Jason Pierre-Paul, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But you learning a lesson is a miracle in itself. So congratulations for you for learning that lesson.
Astute observation, my friend, for sure. I never learn a lesson. Trent, I make sure to repeat the same mistakes over and over again. But
that's called insanity.
Yeah, thank you. But with and some people would anyway. That, my friend, is what I learned. I said I am not going to risk this anymore. I'm not going to blow off any fireworks. I will leave that to the professionals, namely my neighbors. Who, you know, it obviously it's only a couple of houses down, and the fireworks are going crazy, and it's all falling into my yard, into my gutter, and it's a nuisance. But happy Independence Day, Trent. That was my
same to you. It was a nice day.
That was my version of like a 4th of July Scrooge. Bah humbug your fireworks.
Yeah.
Did it work for you?
I spent the most of my 4th of July. I spent it by the pool, so it was very nice to, you know, kind of had the tunes on. You know, it was nice swimming in my swimming pool. Had the music playing. It was really cool. It was a hot day. It was really cool in the fact that there were some good songs playing, but hot in the fact that it was boiling hot outside. It was in the 90s down here in Central Florida. It always is, and not just in Florida, but all across the U.S. You got a bunch of heat that is really kind of in pretty much everywhere. So, but otherwise, it was a nice time spent with family, spent with my grandfather, just kind of doing our thing, and it was nice to have another extra day. Always nice to have an extra day off from work too. Have a long weekend.
Long weekend was great. It really sucked that on the 4th of July there was no Yankee game. So I didn't know what to do with myself.
I enjoyed that tremendously. I enjoyed not watching the Yankees, although the Rays did lose on 4th of July. They were 9-15 on 4th of July's overall. So that's an interesting stat in itself.
Yeah, that's you wish you were the Yankees and you weren't playing on the 4th of July. Then you couldn't lose on the holiday, right?
Right.
Maybe next
well,
year.
Can't. Yeah, they can't lose anyway. It seems like right now, even if they wanted to. But unless they're playing Houston, but that's another story.
Oh yeah. Or Pittsburgh. They did lose to Pittsburgh on Tuesday. But that's all for the sports later on in the show. We'll get into that right now. You know what time it is, Trent?
It's time for the news.
That is right. Yes. From this hell we call Earth, it is the news. Trent, are you ready to inform people on what's important?
Absolutely. Why not? I mean, I don't know how important poop is, but I know how important it is in terms of taking care of it every day in terms of that. But the importance of poop can be subjective, but we'll see what happens. Absolutely. We're going to be going to entertain and going to inform because that's what we're supposed to do.
Trent, what are you saying? You don't know how important. Do you listen to this show? It's the most important thing. It's the lead.
Absolutely. I listen every week because I'm here, because I participate.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to prove it to you right now. How important can poop be? How about this?
Not as, way less important, definitely way more important than you probably. But anyway,
that's the most important thing. It's, everything I'm made up of is in my poop. So it is me. I am my own brand, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course.
But how about this? Let me prove to you. That
just gave me a weird image, but yeah, that's good.
Let me prove to you how important pooping can be. Did you know, Trent, that you're freezing it, all right? Freezing your poop. A poopsicle is what I like to call it, a poopsicle, if that makes sense. Freezing your poop in stool cryobanks could save you from deadly and painful diseases.
Wow. No, I did not know that. This is something I've learned something new today.
Well, that's why this is a world-class, award-winning newscast, Trent. And this isn't just any story. This is from Harvard. Do you know where Harvard is, Trent?
Harvard, Connecticut. Absolutely. It's in the Nutmeg State.
So, yes, I thought it was in Harvard, but
did you know that Harvard, Connecticut? Did you know that Connecticut was called the Nutmeg State?
You know what? I didn't know that. I didn't know about the nutmegs.
Oh, okay.
And Florida's called the Moonlight State. For obvious
sunshine.
reasons.
Close enough.
It's
Moonlight.
Basically, moonlight is created by sunshine. So I think technically I'm correct.
Oh yeah,
I guess go to our judges for this, but anyway, yes. My favorite part. I didn't realize that stool cryobanks even existed. A stool cryobank. Researchers from Harvard University have claimed, like stem cells, these different organisms, microbia that they can collect from your poop, can be used to prevent diseases. It's incredible. Researchers believe that the method FMT could be used to treat consequences arising from unhealthy eating. Also, there are some challenges when it comes to storing fecal matter, as you know, Trent.
I know.
So it's hey, you try to save some shit. It's hard to preserve, but it does go on to say here in this article that more research is required to discover the best stool banking preservation and cultivation methods. So they need to learn and get better at preserving the shit.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, it's definitely interesting to say the least. I've never heard this type of method taking place, but it is what it is, and we'll see.
It is what it is, just like my poop. And by the way, these potential stool cryobanks, they're very important for humanity because, according to this, preserved stool samples could be used to treat diseases such as diabetes, obesity, and the dreaded bowel disorders.
So, like you have diarrhea of the mouth, right? And so, like, will it be used to be able to treat that?
It's I don't think it's a good question. I'd have to, I do usually have a mouth full of cryobank stool samples, usually, right? Or potential stool samples.
Try saying that 5 times fast.
Anyway, there you go. Once again, poop saving humanity. Maybe it's not so bad to be stuck in the shit, Trent.
Saving humanity one crap at a time. That sounds good.
And it's it's not like we're ever going to run out of the stuff.
No. We there's no way you're out of it.
Were you singing a song there? No. I heard that song before.
I guess I could be. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's Elton John.
Yes.
Rocket Man.
I do like me some Elton John. There's no doubt about that.
What you got, Trent?
Let's see. Where are we going next?
We could We could continue talking about poop cryobanks. I mean, I can't think of anything more fascinating or useful. We should actually have maybe dedicate an entire show to the practice.
I'm good, but thank you. I appreciate that.
Couple of guests. My dog is an expert on poop. So no, definitely, without question. No, I wanted to tell you, I'm going off the cuff a little bit, but okay.
Have you heard of the ice cream truck? Rich, did you spend a lot of time with the ice cream truck whenever you were a child?
Oh my goodness, ice cream trucks! Yes, it was a huge deal in my neighborhood. Of course, you had Mr. Softy. Mr. Softy was the ice cream truck in the Bronx, a big time ice cream truck, and you were always excited when Mr. Frosty passed around. And then sometimes the generic one would come out with the weird scary horror music, and you'd run away from that one. But Mr. Softy, oh my goodness, it was so exciting when he showed up on the block.
Well,
the best part about that, Trent, before you get to the story, best part about that, it was so important, especially during the summertime when Mr. Softy showed up. Sometimes you'd miss him, and then you'd go chasing the ice cream truck for blocks because you had to have that milkshake. Or you hear the music in the distance, and you prepare yourself. You get the money ready. You keep looking out the window. When is it? And as soon as it gets there, you're ready. So a lot goes into preparing and being ready. Maybe even for the disappointment of missing it and having to chase it.
Well, there's a city councilman in Aurora, Colorado, found out that there was a 65-year ban on ice cream trucks within the city of Aurora. For whatever reason, the ban started back in the 50s, and just realized that, my goodness, I mean, there's no ice cream in the area. So they advocated, and they made a motion at one of their city council meetings to move this ban and to rescind this said ice cream ban so that people could have ice cream in Aurora, Colorado, and they did. And now all of a sudden, 1957 was the year. So it's wild. So 65. They saw that the ice cream trucks, the reason for the ban was they saw that there was a safety hazard for children because, the ice cream trucks would, kind of stop in the middle of the road and, they'd get ice cream and the children would run out from their houses and I guess not see the truck or get hit by it or something like, Lord forbid that happens. But anyway, that's what they were concerned about. But then somebody at the meeting convinced that a city council member pretty much to overturn it. So they did. And now they're able to serve ice cream in their city, and they're able to do it kind of where they're at right now. And I'm reading a quote here from Paul Capley, who is an owner of an ice cream company, and he said this is a great day for the ice cream industry and for the city of Aurora, so that they can get their ice cream. So how about that? Ice cream truck returning to Aurora, Colorado.
That's a good thing. I would think. I don't know how it works. I know in this small town in Florida, there's no ice cream trucks, which is kind of disappointing. It would be cool. They have ice cream trucks near you, Trent?
No, they do not. They used to back in the good old day, but no, they did not. I used to know when there was an ice cream truck coming because you can hear the music playing on these speakers. They have music.
Yeah.
Playing whatever song. The music was normally corny most of the time, but I mean, yeah, they had the music, and I knew it was coming. I'd go out and get a vanilla cone every now and then. Whenever I did, I really haven't been much of an ice cream fan most of my life, but I did. I could use a scoop of vanilla ice cream every now and then. Oh my goodness,
yeah, I was more of a milkshake guy. Every now and then you get the you go for the you go for the ice cream cone, but I don't know. I always had to have that milkshake. That was my thing. It was, there's Mr. Softy. Yep, you know what's going to happen. It's milkshake time, and there was no stopping that.
How about root beer floats? Did you enjoy them?
That was kind of a different thing. I never really got root beer floats from an ice cream truck. Or a float in general. There were a couple of places in Manhattan where we would get floats, like that. But I don't really think the ice cream trucks in the neighborhood had root beer floats. But anyway, it was super exciting anytime the ice cream man showed up on the block. All right, so.
Oh yeah, without questions. I had to go off script a little bit there because I had to talk. I just happened to look at that story, and I think ice cream is relatable. It's definitely after we talked about the stool story back in the first part of the show. It felt great to kind of revive it a little bit by talking ice cream.
Yeah.
Get people hungry.
Ice cream usually does lead to stool. So it was a natural transition on your part, Trent. I give you credit for that.
Yeah, thanks. I'm glad you give me credit.
You're shocked. You know what? I'll take it back if you want.
No. I'll take that.
Okay.
I'll save that.
Very cool. I like that. About this is pretty cool, Trent. Listen to this. It's very touching. All right. Forever in our hearts, until we meet again. Cherished memories, known as our son, brother, father, papa, uncle, friend, and cousin. That message, Trent, was on Steve Paul Owen's tombstone at the Warren Powers Cemetery in Polk County, Iowa. And it reflects the sentiments of the family of the man who passed away at 59 years old. Now, touching little thing on his tombstone there, right?
Yeah.
Well, how about this? There's no way a message like that could be vulgar or anything, or insult people. However, and that message, by the way, was left behind on September of 2021. The message has the community in an uproar, Trent. An uproar.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So just by using deductive reasoning, it looks like the message was very obscene and very vulgar and quite controversial to the general public.
Forever in our hearts until we meet again. Cherished memories. How could that be obscene?
No, I'm talking about. I'm not talking about this. You know, you're obviously about to share something with me. You're obviously about to share a message that you know, it looks good from the outside. It looks, you know, hey, that's a very appropriate to put on somebody's tombstone. But something must be left behind, or something very uncalled for is about to be read. It sounds like.
Well, I think you might be onto something. You might be onto something. The message does have the community in an uproar because if one reads the first line of the first letter of each line vertically, the phrase "F off" can be found.
Whoa.
So all those nice things that are said on the tombstone amount to a message that says "F off." How about that? Now, Owen says,
so first of all, I want to know who took the time to read this vertically.
Somebody did. You know, somebody in the community is in an uproar, Trent. So somebody figured it out.
I'm sure they did.
Now, Owen's daughter, she said not only was the message intentional, but her dad would have loved it. It was a term of endearment. If he said that to you, Trent, he meant he liked you. And I like that. So from now on, instead of saying goodbye to you, I'm just going to say F off, Trent. It means a good thing. I just want to warn you ahead of time. Hey, this is a term of endearment, dude. I'm not really, you know, trying to insult you, but, you know, F off.
Yeah, I like that. I think that should be our new goodbye term. You know, like when I go on vacation next week, which is what we'll talk about. You know, before I leave on my vacation, I'm going to say, you know, okay, Rich, have a nice day, man. F off.
Yeah. Let's practice. Trent, tell me that you're going to go on vacation now. You're getting on the plane. Go ahead, tell me.
Rich, I'm getting ready out on Sunday. I'm going to be getting on the plane at 11:30.
Hey, cool, Trent. F off. That's it.
Oh, you know what? Because that's an inside thing. Yeah. You know, and when I say inside thing, obviously our listeners are involved, but people from the outside, if we were to do that like in public, they'd be like, "Who? What?" They'd be
we should do that in public. That's a great point. Let's go to a bar, right? And we're hanging out at the bar, you know, having a beer, and you know, I'll say, "Hey, Trent, I'm going to use the bathroom," and you could say "F off," and everybody will look at what's wrong with these guys. It's not cool. They really don't like each other. So yeah, she says it was a term of endearment. If he said that to you, it meant he liked you. If he didn't like you, he simply didn't talk to you. So
well, I get those too. I mean, I've gotten several things like I've had friends that curse at me at times, but you know, whenever they do, I know that they like me. You know, like I've had people say some things like you know, come on, man, you son of a gun, what are you up to? And this and you know, who knows if I knew the person really well, you know, yeah, most of the time I thought it was funny. It was to the point and things, but you know. But then again, but if I knew that they wouldn't be messing with me if they didn't want to talk to me or if they didn't like me. So I mean that's I mean I have several friends of mine, you included, that if you did not mess with me, if you did not give me a hard time about something, then I know that something's going on. So I don't worry about that. I've come to that conclusion many times in my life, and I've become that way to a few of my friends every now and then. Not everybody, but a select few.
Trent, do you think that they should be allowed to keep the tombstone the way it is?
I mean, it's up to them. I guess the family doesn't seem, you know, insulted about it. I guess it's kind of one of those things where, you know, the general public is not happy about it, but I guess it's kind of up to the family. You know, if it's a term of endearment, you know, for him, and if he would have liked it, and you know, they get a laugh out of it. I mean, I guess you can't really stop them. And me personally, I don't know if I would keep the tombstone, but it's up to you. I mean, would you?
Well, I think the problem is that, as it turns out, it's not necessarily up to them at all. A statement from the board of trustees that oversees the cemetery says community members are organizing a legal response and will not stop until the headstone is removed. So it's war, Trent. It's war. You know what I would tell all those people that are organizing a legal response against me?
F off.
Exactly. You're sharp. You're sharp, Trent. You're all over it.
I had a feeling. I mean, it's kind of odd. It's one of those things. It's kind of, what would you tell them, that it was none of their concern?
No, I'd say F off.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
And that's it.
That's
all.
That's it. Yeah. 2 words. F. That's my legal defense. F off.
Okay.
My lawyer is a bit on the cheap side.
And would you hire an attorney for that one?
I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah. Well, it's interesting. We're talking about this, tombstones and cemeteries and whatnot, because there's a family recipe can be etched in stone on a tombstone. They say you can't take them. They say they can't take them with you, but the recipes do disappear when your loved ones pass away. Well, these families have found a great way to record them for use along later in life, is to put them on the tombstone. And these recipes on these tombstones are in cemeteries from Alaska to Israel, so they're overseas. So they put the deceased most cherished recipes on the tombstone, just so that they have them for when, later in life, when they want to make something that they made and they didn't know how to do it, or they weren't watching how they were making it in the kitchen. They can be able to do that. How about that? I mean, how cool is that? Do you have any recipes?
Yeah, I think that would be way cool. And yeah, I'm right there with you, Trent. The only problem with me is that I'm very basic when it comes to cooking. So, my tombstone would probably be pretty lame. It would be like, first you take the Lego Eggo, and then you place the Eggo into the toaster and press down. In 3 minutes, you will have a waffle. And that would be my recipe, and, it's a little lame. So, but that would, I wonder where that comes from. It would be cool if you find out that, tombstones like that existed in the 1800s or 1700s, and you could find out some recipes from hundreds of years ago. I think that would be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with that 100%. But
you know what my favorite ancient recipe is, Trent?
What's that?
Romans, they had the delicacy of rat on a stick.
Wow.
How does that sound? Yeah. That would be a pretty simple tombstone as well. First, you take the stick. Then you get a rat. Then you put the rat on the stick. And that's the recipe.
Yeah, well, but anyway, yeah, that's interesting. No, another thing was, I would love, if I could, like my dad, he made great, he had a way with cooking steaks on the grill, man. And he did it very specifically, and he was very meticulous about how he did things, but it just he made so many great, like he used to be the king of cooking steaks, in my opinion. Like, he was just so good at it. And so he just, and just the way he mixed the seasoning, I wish that he had the recipe to on how to grill a great steak the way he did, because he put so many seasonings, unconventional seasonings, but he mixed them together, and they were just so good. I mean, if only I had that recipe, I would relive it, because I would often sit outside on the porch whenever he would be grilling, but he never used to tell me what he did. It was kind of one of those things where he wanted to kind of keep it on the down low. So because he was like, this is my recipe, I don't want anybody stealing it. So, it's kind of one of those things where I wish I would have said, hey, Dad, let me ask you how you did this. And let me like, what seasoning did you put here? What seasoning did you use here? And just, just kind of tell me what you did and give me a hands-on demonstration so I could remember it back, several years from now. And, but you know what? Hopefully I can dig that up one day, because, man, he made a killer steak. Every time he grilled one, now I'm hungry.
Here lies Rich Carroll, 1979 till 2,097.
Whoa.
Take one slice of bread and take a second slice of bread. Take a piece of cheese, put it between the two slices of bread. Put butter on a pan and apply bread and cheese. Now you have grilled cheese.
A grilled cheese. Oh.
Remember forever the great Rich Carroll.
Hey, don't you like the hot ham and cheese too?
Oh,
those
that's
things
good.
are so good.
That's good, Trent. Or you throw a little bacon in there. My goodness. Oh yeah.
You put meat on it. Oh man, you order my sisters love grilled cheese, and they order bacon grilled cheese a lot of times for Five Guys. You know, it's funny. They go to Five Guys. They don't get a burger at Five Guys. They get grilled cheese. You know, they're younger kids, so I understand. But I mean, man, my older sister ordered that one time. My 13-year-old sister ordered the bacon, the grilled cheese on it with some bacon, and I wish I had ordered that. Good Lord, that was so good.
I'm excited too, Trent. That sounds amazing, and I just have bacon and cheese in my head right now, and it's the greatest thing ever.
When you cook breakfast tomorrow, you can cook some bacon.
Well, let me make you not hungry now. Have you seen those social media photos, Trent, featuring stomach churning Burger King items from Germany?
No, I did not.
Pretty disgusting. I mean, you know, there's different burgers that have pickles with whipped cream, bananas with eggs, ice cream and green olives, cucumbers with jam, fish sticks, applesauce, strawberry ice cream, and fries, all on a burger.
Ugh.
Doesn't that sound great?
That sounds
Doesn't that
disgusting.
sound great?
Great.
Well,
yeah.
Burger King in Germany, they're calling them pregnancy Whoppers.
Ugh. Why are they doing that?
Because apparently when women are pregnant, they like to eat all sorts of stuff. So they want to put all that stuff in a burger. Burger King Germany's website said that they conducted a survey of expecting mothers and asked them about their pregnancy cravings and decided to put all those cravings in a burger. And it was a bad idea. It's a terrible idea. These are some of the most disgusting pictures you've ever seen. And, you know, that's what they did. They turned the survey's most popular meal combinations into pregnancy Whoppers.
That's great. That's fantastic.
And you know, it was an online questionnaire. Over 1,000 women participated. So there you go, Trent. Are you interested in any pregnancy Whoppers?
It just too much sweet and salt. Now I do like sweet and salty together sometimes. You know, I like a good Oreo with some chips every now and then together, like on the same plate.
Well, how about a Whopper containing bratwurst sausage and chocolate syrup?
No. But what I was about to say, before I was rudely interrupted. But what I was about to say was, whenever you talk about bratwurst with chocolate syrup and everything, that's going too far. You got to have a little bit of sweet and a little bit of salty in order to accomplish the goal you wanted to, in my personal opinion.
All right. Maybe Burger King Germany should contact you.
No, don't contact me. Leave me out of it.
You don't want them to call you? I'm sorry.
No,
I don't
no.
that.
The Burger King in Germany? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
All right.
But no, I'm good.
Okay. All right.
So, you know what also is happening
what's
in different countries? It's actually I believe it's in Germany as well. So it's funny, we're staying in this area. But there's hungry Germans.
Hungry Germans, you know.
That's the headline here of this story.
I don't know why that's making me laugh, but it just sounded funny the way you said it.
Hungry Germans actually have vending machines with, guess what in it, Rich? You know what of course you eat out of a vending machine. Everybody's eating out of a vending machine.
Yeah, but it's usually like a chocolate bar or a bag of chips or something like that, you know.
A bag of chips, a chocolate bar. There's nothing like I've even bought some Oreo cookies.
Are you an M&M guy, Trent?
Yeah, I do like M&Ms. I like peanut M&Ms.
Oh yeah.
I like peanut M&Ms. I like the M&Ms with the peanut butter.
I
in
like
them.
all M&Ms. They're just all good. Aren't M&Ms with the peanut butter? Aren't those Reese's Pieces?
Yes, they are. They're so. I love Reese's Pieces. They're so good.
That's some good
And
stuff. You're making me
but you know what?
hungry,
I also love the Reese's cups though. Like the cups are so much better.
Nothing.
I mean,
That's
just
the best thing that's ever been invented by humanity. I really believe that the peanut butter cup will someday get us to Mars. I don't know how, but it's such a brilliant invention. The Reese's peanut butter cup will be the key to getting humanity to Mars, to another planet, Trent. That's how much I think of a Reese's peanut butter cup.
well, you must think a lot of it then.
Yes.
But anyway, some butchers vending machines have 3 or 4 types of sausages in them.
Wow.
And,
A sausage vending machine?
Yeah, they got sausage in the vending machine itself. Now,
I love sausage.
It feels weird because all they have in these machines are 3 or 4 types of sausage. So whether it's it's a sausage link or a patty or not even that, but I mean all different kinds. Like 3 or 4 butchers have their versions of sausage in this vending machine, along with accompanying potato salad and several eggs. I don't know why they have eggs in the machine.
How does this stuff get cooked right there? I mean, man. I can't imagine. Is it a cold sausage? I wonder how that works.
I wish it was. In the story they really didn't talk too much about it. If it was cold or something. I mean, I've eaten pickled sausages that were a little cold, and I've eaten I love Vienna sausages, but otherwise, to me, if I'm gonna eat a sausage, it's got to be hot, man. But it made me think. Because whenever I was at the school for the deaf and blind, they had a school store every afternoon. They had a store on campus that sold snacks every afternoon. So of course I was hungry. I didn't eat lunch every day. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go make up for not eating lunch by buying some things at this store. So I went there and I ate a sausage one time, and they actually had a microwave in that store. They were able to heat up the sausage itself. And which I think was really great. They were able to heat it up to make it taste good. But I mean, I would not think that in a vending machine. If it was hot whenever they stocked the vending machine, I mean, do they really expect it to remain that way? I don't think so.
Well, let's be honest, Trent. If you got a sausage vending machine and it's popular and you got all these different sausages in it, it's probably pretty good. They're figuring out some way to make that good, But here's my question to you: would you eat a sausage out of a vending machine? Would you go for it?
I might have somebody try it first. Somebody else try it first before I do it.
You need a guinea pig?
I don't want to be the first.
I'll give it to my dog, and if my dog doesn't die, then I'll eat it.
Oh, that's awful risky.
Well, what can I tell you? I'm not going to eat it first. You're right. It's a good point, Trent.
But you know what though? It would have been cool because the store on campus did not stay open very late. It only stayed open. It opened like an hour before everybody got out of school, and then it stayed open only for 30 minutes after people got out of school. So people had to go to the dorms and do a few things before they could even go to the school store. And what if somebody was craving a sausage at night? But the store wasn't open. But however, they were in luck because they had a vending machine that had sausage in it. I mean, that's kind of a win-win. What if somebody wanted a sausage along with a side of potato salad? I mean,
that's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Well, that's an interesting story, Trent. But you know what? Sausages are not the weirdest things sold in vending machines. Right? Oh boy! As a matter of fact, there's a whole culture of weird vending machine stuff out there, namely in Japan. And to celebrate that, Trent, I have the top 10 weird things you can buy from a vending machine in Japan.
Okay.
Number 10. Are you ready? You want to beat on some drums or something for me? Do you have anything for me over there? Oh, it's so disappointing. Number 10. Are you ready, Trent?
I am ready.
I'm trying to build the anticipation by repeatedly asking if you're ready. I hope it's.
I'm
not,
ready. I'm on the edge of my seat.
I hope it's not annoying that I keep asking.
It is, but I'm on the edge of my seat.
All right. Number 10, live rhinoceros beetles.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I didn't even know there was a rhinoceros beetle, but a live rhinoceros beetle. You could buy one in a vending machine.
Sounds like something you may order.
I would if I see live rhinoceros beetles in a vending machine, and it's reasonable, like $1.50 or something, I'm going for it.
What would be your cutoff price
for a live rhinoceros beetle?
Yeah,
$1.50.
Oh, okay. so if it was $1.75, you wouldn't buy it?
I'd think about it.
Okay.
I'd have to transition from I'm getting that thing to I just saw a picture of a rhinoceros beetle, and they have great big horns on their head, incredible body armor, the whole thing. They look cool. So I would now that I've seen a live rhinoceros beetle, I would maybe up that to $2. $2 be the cutoff. What about you, Trent? How much would you spend on a rhinoceros beetle?
$0.00.
Oh, he's not even interested. Okay.
You couldn't even give it to me. I mean, you
don't even want, even if it's a gift. If I mailed live rhinoceros beetles to your house for your birthday, you wouldn't accept that gift?
No, my birthday's this month, by the way. But no, I would not. I would not accept that. It just seems weird.
Well, guess what you're getting for your birthday?
Live rhinoceros beetles.
Yeah. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised.
Okay, I'll be looking for. I'll be keeping my eye on the mail several days per week.
Several days. All right. Number 9, balls of lettuce.
Balls of lettuce.
Now, what would you rather me send you for your birthday? A ball of lettuce or a rhinoceros beetle? I have to admit, both those gifts suck, but it has to be one or the other, Trent. Sorry.
I would take the lettuce over the Beatles. Me personally.
Aaron Judge just hit a grand slam in the Yankee game. 9-0 Yankees over the pitch. You would take the bowl of lettuce?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. I would. Me personally, I would go for the beetle. But
I love me some lettuce, man. I love good salad.
Just eat some lettuce and brown sugar.
Not together.
And syrup. You always got to add the syrup. Number 8, from a vending machine in Japan, floral arrangements. Don't worry, I'm not going to get you flowers, Trent. I'm not going to get you.
Okay. That's disgusting. That's nasty.
It's just what? It's kind of nice, actually. Hey, I can run by a vending machine and get some flowers. It's not bad. Number 7, canned T-shirts. That's pretty cool. Actually.
So if you're looking for a last minute gift and all of a sudden the store is closed and you have a vending machine in your building, or a vending machine that you can get to, you can go buy a canned T-shirt out of it.
Yeah, man, that's actually super awesome. So
now I want to know what is in these I want to know the specific details about the T-shirts. I mean, I want to know what T-shirts they are, what they say, if they have any logos on them, if they're a sports type T-shirt. I mean, who knows?
That's true. I'm going to Google to see if I can order a canned T-shirt from a vending machine in Japan. I wonder how much that would cost. Number 6, Trent.
I don't know.
Hot meat.
Okay.
Hot meat.
What kind of meat?
In Japan, hot food from vending machines is preferable. And that includes hot meat, hamburgers, dumplings, hot dogs, minced octopus balls. What? You're not into the octopus balls?
Yeah, I don't know if it's like the way you the octopus balls or the way you said it.
The minced octopus balls. Anyway, they sell all of that in a vending machine. Man. Those are among the favorite options at a local vending machine. And whether you're looking for a burger or octopus balls, the going rate is about $3. So you could go to Japan and spend $3 for some octopus balls.
Okay. Good to know.
This is a surprising one. Number 5, dog wigs. I didn't know there were wigs for dogs.
So I thought a vending machine was supposed to be filled with food. Now it's come on to an actual a full-on store.
Oh, there's so many things you could put in a vending machine, apparently.
Yeah,
including dog wigs. I didn't even know there were dog wigs.
No, man.
Number 4, eggs.
Okay.
Just eggs. It says eggs. Number 3.
Yep. Yeah, but the problem is you couldn't get them. You couldn't get the machine to make them how you want it. Yes, can I have some scrambled eggs? There's no option on the screen to say, how do you want your eggs? You want them scrambled, sunny side up?
Or maybe they got a robot there that does it for you in the machine, like a little robot.
That's crazy.
Cooks up some eggs.
Right, I guess robots are chefs now.
Oh, I think they're raw eggs, though, Trent. You just get some raw eggs. But
I know.
You ever see how things fall out of the slot in a vending machine? You know,
yeah, I hate that.
I think it'd be a bad recipe for some eggs, but
no, without question, yeah. But yeah, you know the raw. I mean, I understand raw eggs. I totally get that.
All right.
Kind of like those you buy at the grocery store, you know.
So number 3, ties. Maybe last second you need a tie, right?
Yeah.
Number 2.
I need a tie for my performance tonight.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to get a tie. Let me stop by the vending machine. Number 2. Pizza in a vending machine. And number 1, the number 1 weird thing you can buy from a vending machine in Japan, sushi. So you get sushi in it's not attractive to you?
No. I ate sushi once. I never cared for it.
Oh, I'm a big sushi fan. I think sushi's great. I love sushi.
I'm sure you do.
Very. What is that supposed to mean, Trent?
It's sushi. Yeah, it's good.
Sushi's delicious. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, there you go. Apparently, it's so crazy. And next thing you know, you're going to be able to get dogs and cats and who knows what else in a vending machine. You know, it's pretty
that's just creepy.
It's it's going to happen, and you heard it here first on Super Radio Brothers News.
Super Radio Rundown.
Yes, that was the news from this hell we call Earth, and now time for the rundown, Trent. Oh my goodness gracious, the nation can't get enough of the Minions. Those stupid yellow things with the goggles, the goggles and stuff. And
yeah,
they speak. You know about Minions, Trent?
Oh, I know about them.
Yeah. Are you a big Minions fan?
Nah, no, I'm not into all that.
I'm not into all that Minion stuff, bro. I'm not into that beat. You know what I'm saying? Minions.
Hey, I'm not dogging people for who are, but you know.
It sounds like you are. It sounds like you think people who like Minions are dumb.
No, I never said that. I said more power to them.
That's what I'm saying. People who like Minions are dumb. No, that's not what I'm saying, Trent. That's mean. Don't put words in my mouth, Trent.
That's exactly what I tried to tell you.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Well, anyway, Minions, the biggest at the box office this week. You know what those dumb yellow things with the goggles did over the weekend, Trent?
What?
The holiday weekend. $107 million.
Did you go?
I did. I love it. I got the T-shirt. I got the bucket. I'm a big fan. No, I didn't see it, Trent. I didn't go see Minions. But Minions number by far, oh my goodness, blowing it away. $107 million at the box office over the weekend. Number 2, Top Gun Maverick, still in the top 2, $25 million. Elvis. Are you going to see Elvis, Trent?
Yeah, I need to go see that. I haven't had a chance to go see it yet, but this is Elvis, the king, the king of rock and roll.
Wait a sec. Where did Trent go? How did Elvis get into this conversation? I thought you were dead, my friend.
I have a funny story for you about Elvis, real quick, if you don't mind.
All right.
If you'd be so kind. So my uncle.
No one's ever asked me to be kind before. I'm sorry, Trent.
Oh, but anyway, my uncle is an older gentleman, but he's really sharp. He's sharp as a tack, and he always calls me on my birthday to wish me happy birthday. But every year he calls me using a different voice. So he pretends that he is someone, but in reality he's my uncle. So one time I was over at his house. It was a few years ago. They invited me over for dinner. So I went over there and had a nice dinner with him. All of a sudden, my uncle steps out of the room. Nobody knows where he goes. And all of a sudden, my phone rings. And I answer it, and it said my uncle's name on it. And he said, "Yes, this is Elvis calling from the grave. I'm going to sing happy birthday to you." And so he sang happy birthday to me in an Elvis voice.
Wow.
And I thought it was very interesting. And, when he came back, when he opened the garage door to come back in the house, I said, "Hey, that was a nice Elvis voice you did." And he tried to go, "Oh, that wasn't me." That was Elvis.
Did he give you a good, "Oh, thank you very much"?
Yeah, he did. Absolutely. He sure did.
Everybody who does a good Elvis got to give you the "thank you very much," right? Oh,
that should be an interesting one. They're going to see Elvis. That's definitely one on my to-do list. There is to go see it.
Go see Elvis. Yeah, I'll definitely be at the theaters this weekend to see the new Thor movie, and of course, you know what that means. Trent, keep an eye out on Super Radio Brothers YouTube page for the next Super Radio Brothers movie review. And I got a nice little surprise for everybody, so definitely tune in for that. I hope you watch it, Trent.
I'll watch it eventually.
How dare you? You see, you're supposed to say, I'll watch it before it even comes out. That's how excited I am about it.
I'll come find it.
Yeah. So rounding out the top 5, Jurassic World Dominion and The Black Phone, which I want to see. It looks pretty cool. As I mentioned, Minions, they are killing it, and they are shattering box office records because guess what? Generation Z is obsessed with it, Trent.
Is that my generation?
Are you Generation Z? I don't even know. What is Generation Z?
I'm trying to think what Gen X. I'm trying to think Gen X, Gen Z. See, we talk about this all the time. I can never remember. I think I'm on the outskirts.
I think you're a baby boomer.
I mean, people do say, I have a friend of mine that always says that I have an old soul. So yeah. I take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
So,
except like you're an old soul boomer. More.
Oh, no. Okay.
Because you're not.
I don't know. I'm trying. I can't think of what generation I'm in. I know. I think I'm close to a millennial, I would assume.
Oh, you're a Generation Z is after millennials?
Something like that. I don't know. I can't keep track of it.
Well, it's a big success, and Minion's marketing team is working hard to get Gen Z, and it's working. A new trend has developed on TikTok and Twitter, and it's exploded over the past week with groups of young moviegoers dressing in formal attire to attend Minions: The Rise of Gru in Style. So they're all showing up to see Minions in suits and stuff, Trent. What's that? As
long as I got my suit and tie.
So they say, consider that a person who was 7 years old when the first Despicable Me hit theaters in 2010. So I guess if you were 7 in 2010, you're a Generation Z, Trent.
Okay, no, that's a little bit. I'm the generation before that. Then.
So you're so old.
Yeah.
So 2010, and they're around 19 years old now. And after Despicable Me 3 in 2017, it's basically been on hiatus until now with this new movie. So they're going crazy. You just saw over $100 million, and it's such a big event that they're dressing in suits, Trent. They're getting dressed up to see this. So it's a
good for them.
Big deal to a lot of people. Super Radio rundown. Unless do you have anything else to say? I mean, it's a big deal, Trent. Maybe you should apologize to all those people for saying that Minions fans are dumb. You said that, right?
No, that was you. I mean, you put words in my mouth.
That's
Hey, all you did was ask me if I was into it, and I just said, nah, not necessarily me, my cup of tea. But I have the utmost respect for those that are involved. So.
I have the utmost respect for Minion lovers. I said nothing. It wasn't me. You guys are cool in my book. But hey, it's a community now, Trent. They love it.
Good for them. Yeah, absolutely.
They're way into
They'll
it.
enjoy that.
Netflix Stranger Things 4 is crushing it as well. Its weekly streaming topping 1.1 billion hours total. And, the 0.1 was me.
Yeah.
So I did watch it. I finished. I'll talk about that Couch Report a little bit. It showed no let up over the past couple of weeks, with more than 301 million hours consumed by subscribers across 93 countries, looking for new episodes by the end of July 3rd. And like I said, by now it's up to 1.1 billion hours. Also, The Umbrella Academy is also doing well. The third season came in second, 88 million hours viewed. The time-traveling drama is being viewed in 90 different countries. So, also of note, Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson, they also have a movie out on Netflix, and that holds the number one spot for 62.6 million hours viewed. So anyway, between Minions and Stranger Things, that's like the two biggest things in the country right now. I don't know if you know that, Trent.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
You had a feeling. I got a feeling that tonight I'm gonna watch Stranger Things. Right? Are you a big Metallica fan, Trent?
Yeah, I like some of their stuff, but I haven't listened to much Metallica in a long time, but I do get into them every now and then.
You do?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, how about this? You didn't see Stranger Things, but it was a huge part of the last episode where one of the members of the kid played the guitar to draw all the monsters and distract them while the other kids try to kill the main monster. And it was an epic metal moment. And what you're hearing right now is this great part. And Stranger Things has been given a lot of credit for kind of revitalizing a lot of 80s music. And they interviewed Metallica about this. And not only were they obviously thrilled that, one of their oldest hits is kind of getting new life again, but also the fact that it was such a big part of the show, such an important part of it. So I gotta admit, it really kicked ass, and I haven't heard this song in such a long time, but it really brought the song back to life for me. And as you can hear, the scene is scary, and it's maybe the most metal moment in the history of Netflix. Listen to that, Trent. Listen to the excitement. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't call me master, Trent, okay? Obey your master. Master! Master! Your heart beats faster. Master!
Oh, yeah, it's jamming. It's a lot of great drums in that song, too.
I'm sorry. I'm having too much fun, but it's a great song, and it was an exceptional part in Stranger Things. So if you're a Metallica fan and you haven't seen that, just watch that episode. It's really cool. It looks cool too, because they're in another dimension while he's playing that riff.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty evil looking. Am I boring you, Trent? I'm sorry.
No, I'm listening.
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. Got a story here. Michael, you a big Michael Jackson fan, Trent? What's your favorite Michael Jackson song?
I'm looking at the man in the mirror.
That's a good one. That's a pretty good
Yeah.
one. I like my favorite Michael Jackson song is "Bap Bap Bap Dilla Dilla Night." Right?
Did
You know that
any
one, Trent?
neighbors? Yeah. Did any neighbors in your neighborhood just call an ambulance just then? I mean, is everything okay?
Dap 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 Drill. But this is pretty cool. Story 3 Michael Jackson songs have been removed from streaming platforms amid claims he never sang them.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. 3 songs from Michael Jackson's 2010 album, Michael, have been pulled from streaming platforms following allegations that the king of pop never sang the tracks. Monster, featuring 50 Cent, Keep Your Heads Up, and Breaking News are no longer available for sale or stream on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and other platforms worldwide. A spokesperson for Jackson's website confirmed 3 songs were no longer available and stated that the removal had nothing to do with their authenticity. The tracks have been part of an ongoing lawsuit involving Jackson's estate and Sony Music, which alleges that Jackson never sang the 3 songs on Michael. In 2014, Vera Sorova filed a class action lawsuit against Sony and the estate over the 3 songs for violation of consumer laws, unfair competition, and fraud. In the lawsuit, it claims that 3 of the 10 tracks on Michael were part of an elaborate artistic fraud mastermind by co-defendants Eddie Cascio and James Port, who sold the tracks, also known as the Cascio tracks, to Jackson's estate for millions of dollars following his death in 2009. So, hard story to follow. You know, did he sing them? Did he not? Is the authenticity in question? It seems like that's all being debated, Trent.
Yeah, it's very interesting story to say the least. Me personally, I had never heard of those 3 songs, and obviously, if I wanted to look them up to hear them right now, anyway, I couldn't because, well, they're not streaming anymore.
You can't, maybe on the dark web, Trent. If you
on the dark web, okay.
On the dark web, they'll maybe yeah. Or maybe don't go on the dark web. That's dangerous, Trent. That's bad advice from a friend.
That's right.
That's right. You're used to bad advice from me, right?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
You know what else is bad advice?
Video game news?
Yeah, that didn't make much sense, but thank you.
Video game news. Video game. Yeah.
Maybe
I'm very lost as to how can video game news be bad advice? I don't know. Maybe because kids play too many video games.
That's the only thing I could think of too. Maybe it's maybe if I told you, hey Trent, you should play a ton of video games, and that's bad advice.
Oh yeah.
It's so Trent, play a ton of video games, okay? Until your mind rots and you have cerebral spinal fluid pouring out of your ears.
Well, we've done stories in the past where playing video games can really help you solve real life issues. So now we're getting conflicting reports.
That's right, Trent. You see, you're paying attention. Can't get anything by you, my friend.
Yeah, I know. Especially when you repeat it about.
You sounded
50
so
times.
disappointed about that. Like you wish people could get things by you.
Yeah. I wish people can get things by you.
No, nothing gets by me. Trust me, Trent. Nothing.
Nothing at all.
All right, video game news. This is pretty exciting. Michael Jordan. You ever hear of him?
Who's that?
Yeah. Michael. He played basketball, Trent.
Of course, he's probably one of the best basketball players, arguably the greatest of all time.
Yeah, a lot of people would consider Jordan the GOAT. Possibly, I don't think there's any arguing that he's the GOAT of sneakers, right? Everybody loves a good pair of Air Jordans, so can't argue that. But it's been announced that Michael Jordan is the cover athlete for NBA 2K23 and the game's limited edition championship edition. So Michael Jordan making a return to the cover of NBA 2K. It's the 4th time his airness has appeared on the cover of the popular video game after appearances in 2K11, 2K12, and 2K16. Arguably, yes, the most famous number 23 of all time, which it makes sense for him to be on the cover for 2K23. Right, Trent?
Oh, sure. It makes absolute sense.
The game will reintroduce Jordan's challenges for the first time since NBA 2K11. Players will relive the greatest moments of Jordan's career with 5 new moments from his college, Team USA, and NBA careers added to the original 10. After making 23 the most recognizable number in sports, it was only fitting, of course, that he would be the cover of NBA 2K23. So very exciting. I've never been much of a player of those classic modes, relive the moments. I'm kind of a strictly online, either get my butt kicked or kick someone else's butt in a ranked game online. But I might try to see what it'd be like to control MJ in a modern 2K game for sure. Because the game now, 2K22, a lot different from 2K11. That's for sure. Not even close, bro. Not even. So the company that makes Pokemon Go, they've canceled 4 projects. Very disappointing, and cut 8% of its staff, about 90 people. And Unity Software Incorporated laid off 200 people. More and more tech companies are starting to feel the heat of the economic downturn. Sony's diving into PC gaming hardware with new headsets and monitors, and they have a new brand coming out, InZone. That's a pretty cool name.
For football?
Yeah, like an InZone. So their new brand name for kind of their peripheral gaming hardware, like I said, headsets, monitors, things like that. InZone, it's going to be called. So if you're in the market for a monitor or something, Trent, maybe you might want to think about InZone.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like you will, but that's okay, Trent. That's okay. I'll try it first. On Tuesday is the return of the upcoming video game Return to Monkey Island. Are you excited? Monkey Island?
What? I've never heard that game before. What does it entail?
I've never heard of that game before either, but it has a cult following, and it sounds like one of the worst games of all time because it's a point-and-click adventure, which I don't know how anybody plays that. It's just a terrible game. But anyway, I bring it up because the company actually canceled their social media accounts because of angry gamers who were so passionate about this game and disappointed with the animation choice by the developers. They've done nothing but flood this company's social media with angry comments. So it forced a whole company, Trent, to cancel their social media. They can't take it anymore.
I know, it's crazy. Well, that's what happens sometimes.
All over a game called Return to Monkey Island. It's hard for me to believe you can be that passionate about Monkey Island.
Huh.
You don't sound very passionate about it either, so maybe I'm onto something. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you are, without question.
I mean, come on. Who wants to play Monkey Island? It's what could be exciting about that? You tell me, Trent. Come on. What's the most exciting thing that can happen in Monkey Island?
Well, I wish I could, but I've never played the game before, so I don't know what to predict. I mean, it's an island that is called that, and
it's an island. It has monkeys, and they're doing things. You know, maybe climbing a tree.
It could be, yeah.
You know, climbing a tree reminds me of, Trent.
Uh-oh. What? What does it remind you of?
What do you mean, uh-oh? What are you talking about?
Where is this going?
It's kind of an athletic endeavor, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
It reminds me, of course, of the great competition of tree climbing. It's a sport.
Yes, it is. I don't think we're going to be talking about that during Super Radio Brothers Sports.
We're not? How can we not talk about tree climbing on sports? I mean, come on, Trent. It's not like there's a whole lot going on right now. You know, you got baseball and maybe tree climbing.
Yeah, tree climbing. Rich Carroll won the tree climbing competition.
Yeah.
He outclimbed so many other people and went all the way to the top. He won the
it's a
championship.
post-game interview now. Trent, interview me. You're the great broadcaster known as the voice of tree climbing, and you have your great star tree climber right here in front of you, the great Rich Carroll. He made the number 23 popular in sports because of all of his tree climbing extravaganzas. Talk to me, Trent. I'm your hero.
Well, my first question would be: did you cheat in order to win this, or did you?
Is that really the first question you would ask me, Trent?
Yeah. Did you cheat?
I'm going to try not to be insulted. Can you imagine? It's the end of the World Series. The Houston Astros have won, and on the field, Joe Buck says, "Hey, Jose Altuve. Did you guys cheat this year?"
Yeah. Well, it would come to find out, trash cans that said fastball. You hit it twice, it's a fastball. You hit it 3, it's a curveball. It's whatever.
But I don't. You see, my point is, Trent, I don't think you would ask Jose Altuve that question, but me.
But you.
Me. Yeah, you would treat me like that.
I would never ask a professional athlete that question, but you, that's another story. I might ask you. Who knows?
Well, we just established that I'm the greatest tree climber of all time. So you need to show me some respect, buddy.
I will, buddy. I'll show you some respect right now by talking Major League Baseball because the Tampa Bay Rays are on a little bit of a hot streak. They actually won a series up in Toronto last week. Can you believe that? It seems. I mean, they played pretty well at Rogers Center as of late, but it did not look like it. I mean, they were steamrolled on Thursday night up in Toronto. They were also steamrolled Friday afternoon for a Canada Day matchup. Did you know Canada Day, Rich, was July 1st?
Canada Day is my favorite holiday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's my favorite holiday, number one.
The Canadian national anthem was sung.
Excuse me.
Before.
Oh, Canada, my home and native land. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. You're welcome. I just wanted to prove my love of Canada Day to you, Trent. Did you enjoy that?
Well, I tell you, we got some great, wonderful neighbors to our north, and I mean that wholeheartedly. So that was no, I'm serious.
Believe it or not, Trent, glass just broke in my apartment. The mirror just cracked a little bit. I don't know how that happened, but.
No, because you looked at it. That's why.
Oh,
man!
How dare you? I am I. Let me tell you right now, Trent. I'll have you know, I am a very attractive person. Extremely attractive.
Oh, that makes me laugh. That's so great. But anyway, the Rays lost to the Toronto Blue Jays on July 1st, and even on the 30th of June. They lost the first 2 games of that series. That series didn't look good. But all of a sudden, Kevin Cash and a few of the players had a team meeting before Saturday's doubleheader, and the reason that they lost both these games, yes, it didn't help that Corey Kluber had a bad outing on Friday, and it didn't help that a few of the other pitchers, had a few tough outings as well. But the offense, it has not been coming through consistently, and we saw that in this series, or in the first part of the series with Toronto. Tampa Bay had 8 hits at one point against the Toronto Blue Jays, but they weren't able to get a runner across the plate. They even had runners at second and third several times, and Toronto had given them some extra outs, but that's not what you wanted to do. But the main reason the Rays lost those 2 games were, on the offensive end, Tampa Bay just couldn't get it done. And then defensively, the pitching staff gave up a couple of walks and let Blue Jay base runners on free of charge. And with guys like Teoscar Hernandez and Bo Bichette and George Springer and Vlad Guerrero Jr. and so much power in that lineup. If you let guys on free of charge, that's going to come back to haunt you. And that's what had happened for the Tampa Bay Rays for first two games. But you know what? The series changed. The trajectory of it changed Saturday and into Sunday because the Rays swept a split doubleheader against the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, splitting a doubleheader is hard in itself, but the Rays were able to do it, and they ended up winning the games by pretty fair margins on Saturday. They scored more than 6 runs in both games, so that's always fantastic. And then they ended up winning the game on Sunday as well to win that series 3-2. So they played 5 games within a 4-day span in Toronto. Then they went to Boston, and on Monday they lost. It's kind of one of those games that kind of before the 3-game winning streak after the series in Toronto. It's kind of one of those things where before the series in Toronto, I should say, it was kind of one of those things where they couldn't get the offense going. I mean, they had runners at second and third a couple times. They were even given an extra out in one of the earlier innings by an error by a Boston Red Sox infielder, but they couldn't take advantage of that. And next thing you know, Boston ended up opening the game up in the later innings and won it by a score of 4-0, and they got shut out for the 5th time this season. And but Tuesday night and Wednesday night they took care of business. They won a slugfest in Boston. They won an 8-4 game. They doubled them up on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday they shut them out by a 7-0 score thanks to another great outing by Corey Kluber. So look. And if you look at the American League East right now, obviously the Yankees with the, you can stop saying historically good start right now because we're officially halfway through the season. Okay, they had a historic first half. It looks like they're on their way to winning the division. But when you look at second, third, and fourth place, you got to admit, Rich, that the American League East is pretty tight. Right now, as we speak, the Toronto Blue Jays and Tampa Bay are tied for I believe, or I think it's like Toronto, Boston, and Tampa Bay are all right up there for second place. Not even 2 games are separating second, third, and fourth place in the division. So if you're a fan of the American League East, you got to be happy about that.
I don't know. I would say if you're a fan of the American League East, you're not too happy this year because of the way, unless you're a Yankee fan, because of the way the Yankees are playing. But I think, and we've said it all year, and that would lead to frustration to me if I was a fan of one of the other teams, because those teams aren't having bad years. I mean, the Rays and the Red Sox both tied for second place. They're 8 games over 500. That's not terrible. Blue Jays, I think if you're a Blue Jays fan, you're extremely disappointed. Yes, you're only a half game behind the Red Sox and the Rays, but you're 14 games out of the division, and you were the team coming into the season that was the favorite. Everybody was talking about the Toronto Blue Jays going into the season, and right now they're 14 games out of first place, a half a game behind the Red Sox and the Rays. But all that being said, these are still, I believe, would be the 3 teams those would be your 3 wild card teams. The Rays, the Red Sox, and the Blue Jays. The Yankees and Houston would get the bye, and right now, as it would be the Blue Jays against the Twins in a 3-game series, and the Red Sox and the Rays in a 3-game series. So that's the way the playoffs would work out right now. And those 3 games, the way they have it here, would actually be at the Trop if the season were to end today. So it's got to be frustrating to be having a decent season and not be anywhere close. I mean, and I'm not. We've seen leads disappear before, and the Yankees have kind of hit their first, somewhat cold stretch here. You got a lot of cold bats in the lineup. The pitching has struggled in a way, hit a wall. Jameson Tyone, who's been so good this year, I would say at least his last half dozen starts have not been good. Every time you look up, he starts a game, he gives up a 3-run home run or 4 runs early. Now he ends up pitching 7 innings, but you were getting used to 7 innings, 1-run ball, and lately it's 7 innings, 3-4-run ball. Not what you and all of them haven't been as good lately. Whether you're talking about Nestor Cortez or Severino's actually been pretty steady and pretty amazing. Garrett Cole has reestablished himself, I think, as the ace of the staff. But you've had a cold lineup, and you've had a pitching staff that really is hitting a wall here, and that could be concerning when you consider that Nestor Cortez is already he's never pitched this many innings in his career, and a lot of people are thinking, well, maybe the Yankees here the rest of the year, they have such a big lead, you call Sears up and maybe you go to a 6-man rotation to alleviate some of the burden. And we'll see what the Yankees decide to do here, but they're 6-10 in their last 10 games and still have a 13.5 game lead. So we're not going to go crazy here. We're talking about a team that basically has an automatic out in Joey Gallo in the lineup every day, strikes out every time up, yet still they win more games than not. And they went to Houston for the one game, the makeup game with the late start to the season. They lost that game 2-1. Bregman had a 2-run double, and you had the solo shot from Anthony Rizzo. Houston won that game. So last week they played 5 times. Houston took 3 out of 5. So obviously 2 evenly matched teams. And there's when you're talking about the Houston Astros, you're talking about the team that's been in the ALCS 5 years straight and won a World Series, been to a couple. So they're the team to beat in the American League. I don't care what the Yankees' record is. And, you could talk about Yankees will have home field advantage if things were to end today. But regardless, the American League pennant goes through Houston. That's just the reality of the situation. So, and if you're a Yankee fan, you relish that opportunity. Let's get it. Let's get that ALCS against the Houston Astros. I'll take my chances. I think the Yankees are just as good as Houston. They're just very evenly matched teams, and you roll the dice and you hope we'll get a good series. We've seen the Yankees take that team to 7 games and 6 games, and this is the best Yankee team in years. So I'd be confident going into that series against Houston for sure. They had the Cleveland Indians over the weekend, another team kind of really they've fallen a little bit out of that wild card race, about 5 games behind the Red Sox, the Rays, the Blue Jays. But the Guardians are one of those teams trying to get into the playoffs along with the Seattle Mariners. Yankees took 2 out of 3 from Cleveland in Cleveland over the weekend. But they had another one of those days that you're seeing a lot of lately. They were completely shut down. They couldn't get the sweep in Cleveland. They lose that game 2-0, but they get out of there with the series win. And then inexplicably, you start the series against the Pittsburgh Pirates this week, a little 2-game set, and everybody knows Pittsburgh's arguably the worst team, if not, Cincinnati's pretty terrible too, but Pittsburgh's pretty awful team. Yankees go out there and they have another one of those kind of offensive disappearing acts, first game of that series, and they lose to Pittsburgh 5-2. Again, another example of Tyone not having it, giving up the 3 runs early, but pitching deep into the game. And today, Yankees were not happy about losing to Pittsburgh yesterday. So it's the 9th inning, and the Yankees are winning this one 16-0. So taking it out on the lowly Pirates today, letting out a little frustration. And now a bit of a test. You know what? These are we talked about a couple weeks ago. Yankees have 9 games coming up here. Rays and Blue Jays, what's going to happen? And Yankees took care of business. They went out there and won 7 of the 9 games. So now they play the Boston Red Sox 7 out of the next 10 games. You get a 4-game set this weekend at Fenway, and then a 3-game set next week at in the Bronx. So if Boston wants to make a run here, and look, it's early July. I don't care what the lead is. Something can happen, right? I mean, you could make a move, but you know what? If Boston is serious about making a move, you sweep the Yankees in Fenway this weekend. That's what happens. You turn that. You take that 13.5 game lead. You make it 9.5. You get it to under 10. And look, it's middle of July. You get the lead to under 10. There's plenty of time to make that up, and the psychological effects of that. If
they get it to less than 10 before the All-Star break, then who knows what can happen.
Yeah, exactly. So we're in July. Anything's possible. I don't care how good the Yankees have played, but we'll see what happens. You're still talking about a Boston Red Sox team that beat the Yankees in that one-game wild card last year. Even though the Yankees were dominating Boston toward the end of the season last year, they had they played extremely well in Boston the week prior to even get into the playoffs. Won some big games against Toronto as well. Lose the one game, which is a ridiculous scenario that it all came down to one game there. Who knows what would have happened last year if they had that 3-game series, set up there. But whatever. It's 2022, big series this weekend. They have a chance. It's 7 out of the next 10 days. Boston and New York, big opportunity for the Red Sox. We'll see if they can make a move here. It's going to be tough. Look, Yankees are playing extremely well. They're 58-23, about to be 59-23. It's the best record in the majors by a lot right now. Houston's about 6 games back. And obviously this is a different team from last year. Yankees were 41-40 last year through the first 81 games. So this year, 58-23. Think about that. Last year the Yankees were 41-40. And the Tampa Bay Rays were like in first place by 10 games or so. So what a difference a year makes for sure. But you'd expect that the pace was going to slow down considerably here. There's no way. I mean, it's ridiculous. They're having such an incredible year. 36 games over 500 in July is kind of ridiculous. So we'll see what happens. Huge series with the Boston Red Sox. They've been playing extremely well. They've been hot. They've had a great June. They just don't gain any ground because the Yankees are playing extremely well. The Red Sox looked dead and buried a couple of weeks ago, and now they're basically tied for second place. So, anything's possible here. But just to put a bow on it, Toronto and Tampa, they had their chance a couple weeks ago, didn't work out. Boston gets their chance now. 7 games in the next 10 days. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see what happens. Tampa Bay, as long as they keep playing the way they are, we'll see where they go. Who knows? I mean, a lot of people are calling for them to get another hitter in this lineup, and who knows? Wilson Contreras would be a pipe dream if they could get him from the Chicago Cubs. I mean, Contreras is hitting the cover off the ball. Would love to see Josh Bell possibly come to Tampa Bay. I don't know who you'd get rid of, but I mean, I think the pitching is doing his job. We just need one more offensive guy. I mean, who knows? Manuel Margot is now on the 60-day DL with that ligament injury. Brandon Lau, there's no telling if he'll be back right after the All-Star break. So as the All-Star break approaches, which is going to be in about July 17th is the last day before the All-Star break. So it's right around the corner, almost 10 days away now. And or if you're definitely it's less than 10 days away now if you're listening on the podcast. But I'm just saying. It would be nice to get that acquisition. Who knows what's going to happen? Tampa Bay, I said that this wasn't a make or break road trip for Tampa Bay, but they've won 2 out of the 3 series that they played so far. Who knows if they go like 8-3 in this 11-game road trip, or if they something like that, it's the best they could do if they swept the Cincinnati Reds, the lowly Cincinnati Reds, that is, and so we'll see what happens. I think they did. I think Cincinnati did beat the Mets a while back. So I mean, they can beat teams, but
hey, Trent, it's baseball, Trent, right? The worst teams will win 60 games, and even the best teams lose 60 games.
That's right, absolutely. So, but look, the Rays are on a great trajectory right now. People said if they went, 8-3, 9-2, they're holding it together. They'd be in good shape. Tampa Bay is definitely playing better at home than they are on the road this season. So,
oh my God,
that's
Trent. The line on the Yankee game. Straight. Let's check this out. Yankees had 16 runs tonight. They had 22 hits. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I know, it's insane.
22 hits in a game. My good, Pittsburgh's awful. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Pittsburgh is not the best team in the world. So that's putting a bow on baseball. Real quick, just before we wrap up the sports segment here, I want to ask you on the NBA. So many free agents stuff going on right now. Summer League, I think, has already started, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
The Summer League contests have already started. I think the Magic play their first game tomorrow at some point, so I would love to. It's going to be my first look at Paolo Banchero. Can't wait to see how he looks kind of in game action, even though it's Summer League. But we got some free agent questions, man. Who knows? We got some free agent moves that have already been made. We've got Kevin Durant. We have no idea where he's going to go yet. So just tell me, man. Just give me a little recap on your version of free agency. We'd love to hear what you think about that.
Well, I mean, obviously, you bring up Summer League, and the big story today from NBA Summer League was Chet Holmgren. I think he was a second pick by OKC, Oklahoma City Thunder. A lot of people making a big deal out of his Summer League debut. He's another one of these guys, kind of like that Kevin Durant build, 6'10", but he's only 190 pounds, so he's a big skinny dude, and he seems to have some ball handling ability. He actually was the first player ever in a Summer League game to hit 4 3-pointers and also get 6 block shots. So that was interesting. He also dropped 22 points. Who knows what he can become? You look at the guy, you look at him, you think, that guy needs to put on some weight. I mean, he's looking like Sean Bradley, Manute Bol type of territory. But at the same time, Durant never put on any weight, but he became one of the great players of all time. So I got to see more of him. Obviously, 22. It's Summer League, so you got to take into account who they're playing against. But 22 points, 6 block shots, 4 3-pointers. He looked the part. He looked like an interesting player, and he does get the advantage of being a guy that's on a super horrible team when you talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder, and you got to figure that this is going to be a year where they're just going to give him the ball and say, go get it. Let's see what you can do. But a lot of hype behind him. I remember even before the draft, there was video going on at a practice where he made a move on Steph Curry and dunked the ball, and everybody was going crazy about that. So, he's an interesting player, and that was the big story day one of the NBA Summer League that everybody got a chance to see Chet Holmgren. And, I didn't know when the Magic were going to debut, Trent, but I'm definitely fascinated. I want to see what this Banchero kid looks like, because who knows, man? I mean, he might be the guy that might guide the Magic back to being relevant again.
Yeah, I think I'd love to see. We had, by the way, we had a sports show last week where we talked to Dante Marchitelli, the broadcaster for Bally Sports Sun, pre and post game host for Bally Sports Sun, and we had Out of Sight Sports on, and we talked to him about that. So if you want to hear more of that interview, you can download the Flagler Radio app and tap on podcast and go on Out of Sight Sports, and then you'll be able to hear our full interview with
That's
Dante
true.
Marchitelli.
Yeah, Dante Marchitelli. Yeah, check it out. Yeah. You can get it on the Flagler Radio app, and you could also just go on SoundCloud if you want, Trent. Just go on SoundCloud, look for Out of Sight Sports, and
I do it via the app, okay?
I do it via the app as well, no doubt about it. Okay. And you can find the show in a podcast form on FlaglerBroadcasting.com as well. So a couple different ways to get out of sports and listen to our interview with Dante Marchitelli, Orlando Magic broadcaster. I mean, you talk about NBA free agency, Trent. The big story is Kevin Durant, the Brooklyn Nets. All of a sudden they're breaking that thing up, and it's gone to hell in a handbasket because, just a couple of years ago, if you're a Brooklyn Nets fan, you've got visions of championship dancing in your head. You know, you're hoping that special things are going to happen. You got the best player in the world, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, one of the best talents at the point guard position of all time. You're thinking you're going to do something. All you got to do is wait a year. You know, KD coming off the big injury, he's going to miss a year. But when he comes back, oh boy, we're going to be good. And basically, the best they did was get to the second round and lose to the Milwaukee Bucks. And they're going to blow that thing up now. You know, you had all the issues with Kyrie Irving, the part-time player, the vaccine. You know, this team was never able to get any kind of flow going, any kind of chemistry. And even with all that said, you still had a lot of the experts picking them to win that first-round series against the Boston Celtics. And not only did they not win that series against the Celtics, they got swept. And by the way, the Brooklyn Nets were the only team in the NBA playoffs this past year to get swept. So it was a horrible, pathetic performance. KD was awful in that series. And to me, it's another indictment on his character as a leader, as a basketball player. Because first of all, you know, I know that the team pays him, but you know, to me, he should feel like he owes this franchise something, you know, because they went out there and they gave him big money while he was injured. You didn't know how KD was going to come back off that injury. You know, you didn't know if he was ever going to be the same again. But the Nets, they gambled on him. And, yeah, he came back and he was great. And he gave the Nets a great couple of years. But this is your team now. You know what? It hasn't gone great. All right, it hasn't. What is Kevin Durant thinking right now? Are you looking for the easy way out again? You know, I just don't understand where do you want to go? Oh, I want to go to Phoenix of Miami. Well, of course you want to go to Phoenix or Miami, right? You want to go play with Chris Paul and Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton and be the final piece of the puzzle there. A team that just won 65 games and is coming off of one of the best seasons that franchise has ever had, even though they lost in the second round to Dallas. And the year before went to an NBA Finals and lost to the Milwaukee Bucks. Let me go be the final piece to the puzzle there rather than creating my own championship team. You know, why I just don't get him asking out here. Okay, it hasn't worked out the past couple of years. You're the one who Kyrie had to come. He had to be a part of the whole thing. So make it work out. And you look at the roster, they come back next year. This is still a team that can win. This is still a team that can play. So I just wonder what led to him requesting a trade. Why? And I haven't seen that anywhere where Kevin Durant has come out with a statement as to why he's requesting a trade. You know, if I'm the Nets, to me there are two approaches. First of all, yeah, you could look at it this way. This is possibly the greatest trade commodity that any team has held in the history of the NBA, because Durant just signed a 4-year deal with them. So not only, if you get Durant, not only do you get him in a trade, but you also have him for years now. There's no negotiating, worrying about in a year, you know, we're going to have to negotiate a new contract. No, he's signed. It's all good. So not only do you get KD, but you already got the contract, so it's an extremely valuable trade commodity, and you should expect a huge return. But is that return ever, I don't care how many draft picks you get or what you get for Kevin Durant, is the return ever going to match what you lose? You know, a lot of people consider Kevin Durant to be the best player in the world right now. No draft pick is going to replace that. You know, I don't see any team that has a package that could, you know, properly compensate the Nets in that regard. So I think there's a couple different approaches. One is, you know, if I'm the Nets, I look at KD and I say, you just signed a contract, dude. You're signed for 4 years. Get that out of your head and let's go. I don't want to hear about, if a player is not all in. Maybe that makes sense if you're signed for 1 year. The dude is signed for 4 years. He better be all in eventually, or change his attitude, you signed. I don't see any reason why the Nets should be forced to trade him here. I don't care if he doesn't want to be here. You signed a contract. It's a guaranteed contract. It's 4 years. There's no way if I'm the Nets, you don't want to be here? Okay, bye. No, you committed to us. We committed to you when you were injured. So I think I would go to KD and say, we're not trading you. Get over it. Let's go. What are you going to be, James Harden, and show up to camp fat? We don't care. You better make it work and get a better attitude here and give us your best and try to win a championship. That's one. The second approach to me is I'm trading him to the Detroit Pistons. You know what? I'm trading him to the Orlando Magic. Give me Banchero and your 2 picks from last year and first round pick next year. Let's talk about a big time package that only a team like a horrible team, Detroit or the Orlando Magic. I'm not sending him to Miami. I'm not sending him to Phoenix. What good team could possibly come up with a package that would satisfy Brooklyn in this scenario? I can't see it. And on top of that, why would Brooklyn want to do something good for Kevin Durant? So I know everybody says it's over. He's and by the way, I haven't heard anything about Kyrie Irving requesting a trade. So he's still on the books for next year. Maybe if you're the Nets, you approach KD and you say, you know what? All right, you requested a trade. How about let's just give us a year. Let's take this next year. Kyrie Irving is still under contract. We have a darn good roster. We can make a run at this thing. Give us 1 year. And then, okay, that's 1 more year off the contract. Makes the contract less valuable, sure. But come on, man. You got to give the franchise 1 more year here. Kyrie Irving's still under contract. I can't see any scenario where it makes sense for the Brooklyn Nets to trade Kevin Durant and then on top of that trade him to a winner, because there's not one team in this league that's a winning team that has a shot that can offer proper compensation. If you're the Phoenix Suns, you're not trading Devin Booker because that defeats the purpose of getting Kevin Durant. You want to make yourself better, So I don't see it, Trent. I don't see how the Nets could trade Durant even with him requesting a trade. But you know what? They don't have.
Yeah, I don't either.
It doesn't seem like they have very competent ownership there either. So anyway, that's the big story. NBA free agency right now for sure. And man, it doesn't get more exciting or more dramatic sometimes than the NBA offseason.
You got that right, and that's a real jammed up segment of sports there too. We got lots of baseball in there. We got some NBA free agency.
Let me just one more thing on the sports, Trent. How about Baker Mayfield going over there? I just wanted to bring this up to you real quick because I thought it was funny. I forget what year Mayfield was drafted. I think it was 2016 or 2017. Mayfield, and I bring it up for obvious reasons here, Trent. Baker Mayfield, he gets drafted number 1 overall, number 2 pick to the New York Giants, another terrible draft pick. They drafted Saquon Barkley, and then with the 3rd pick in the draft, the New York Jets draft Sam Darnold. The top 3 picks in that draft obviously didn't pan out so well, and the Carolina Panthers, who have made this trade, and some would say it's insulting, Trent, they get Baker Mayfield, formerly the number 1 overall pick in the draft. The Carolina Panthers get him for a 5th round pick. Unbelievable. But now, look at this, Trent. Now, if you're the Panthers, they have the number 1 pick and the number 3 pick overall of that draft on their roster now. And now Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield will be duking it out in the preseason for the starting job there, the number 1 and 3 pick of that draft. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it really is, and you also look at it too. All the problems that Baker Mayfield has caused off the field. I hate to say it, but he's not the best guy you want to have on your team as far as conduct is concerned. But hopefully he'll be able to clear that up. But the number one and the number, I mean, we've seen how Sam, has done so far, and he hasn't done well. I mean, we've seen a couple of games where he's done some good things, but other than that, it's kind of like one step forward and about 3 steps back for Sam. And so we'll need to see more out of him. We'll need to see more out of Baker Mayfield to see what happens. But that's definitely something for sure.
You know what the rallying cry for Jet fans? This is how pathetic the Jets and Jet fans are, Trent. You know what the rallying cry was leading up to that draft?
What's that?
All the Jet fans were saying, "Suck for Sam."
Yep.
Suck for Sam. And we sucked. And we got Sam. But guess what? He sucked too.
Yeah, he did.
Terrible.
That's the Jets. That's the Jets for you.
Oh my goodness! And there is there's always hope in July for the upcoming football season. So I have hope, Trent. I have hope.
Okay.
You know what that reminds
that's
me of?
great.
Having hope.
Yeah, that's a good thing to have hope. And I have hope for a good couch report too. That's always great.
There you go. Pretty good.
It's time to sit down and unwind and listen to the Couch Report.
Listen to the Couch Report. All right, Trent, what you got? What's going on the couch?
Well, I'm off the couch because I'm actually planning a trip. You know, I mentioned I'm going to I teased it a little bit last week, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you exactly what's going to happen. I'm headed up to beautiful Pennsylvania, the Keystone State. I'm actually headed up to see some good friends of mine from Sunday to Sunday. You know, I'm actually jumping on an airplane, because I've flown several times, but, this will be the first time actually doing it by myself. So as a totally blind person, I'll be jumping on a flight and flying up to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, a direct flight. And then a friend of mine is going to take me. Friends of mine are going to take me to where they live, and I'm going to be able to. They're going to take me, give me a tour around their town, around their county that they live in. Also, we're also planning on going. All of us together are going to Hershey, Pennsylvania, to tour the place called Chocolate World. That's a nice area.
Chocolate World. Whoa, that sounds like a dream come true. I want to go to Chocolate World.
Yeah, Chocolate World. Hershey's up there. They got a nice. Didn't you say you used to hang out in Hershey Park back in the day?
I went once. No, I went once to Hershey Park when I was really young.
Okay.
So it wasn't something I did a lot, but I did go once. I barely remember it.
Okay, but we're going to go check out Hershey Park. We're also going to go check out where the minor league hockey team, the Hershey Bears, play. So that's going to be cool as well. We're just going to check a lot of things out. Going to try to check out some of the
I don't know
eateries.
what it is, Trent, but Hershey Bears sounds delicious.
Well, that's the hockey team, the minor league hockey team, the Hershey Bears are up there as
but
well.
But you say it, and I feel like, oh man, I need a good Hershey Bear right now. I'm starving.
Yeah, there you go. That's a great time. Looking forward to doing that. It's kind of a nice little change of pace. What I'm hoping for is a little bit of cooler weather. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. I've already looked at the weather forecast, and it looks like we're going to be in the 90s and some days. I mean, some days will be in the 80s, but I'm looking forward to the 60s at night. It'll be nice, the nice cool weather in the 60s. I don't know about you, but 60 plus degree weather sometimes makes me want to sleep. I don't know what it is. It's just that kind of weather. Love it. So
I don't know. Just being awake makes me want to sleep.
Well, yeah. Thank you, Captain Obvious, for that one. That's good. No, that's my plan. Looking forward to visiting and hanging out, and it's going to be a nice time. Seeing some sights I've never seen before, and taking in all of the sounds. Going to a place I've never been. I've been in Pennsylvania a few times, but I've never been to this part of the state. So it'll be neat, and looking forward to it. It'll be lots of fun and fellowship, that's for sure. What's going on in your couch report?
Oh, excellent. Well, congratulations on the trip. Have a great time. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. let's see, what do I have going on? I did see this cool movie starring Bryan Cranston and Annette Bening called Jerry and Marge Go Large. And it's based on a true story, Trent, about this retired dude who figured out a loophole in the lotto and was able to play the numbers to where he would win every 3 weeks. And he was able to win $26 million. And he did a lot of helping his own community with that money. So pretty interesting, cool story, funny movie. I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to enjoy it. Also, the new Beavis and Butthead movie. You a big Beavis and Butthead fan, Trent?
I used to watch him as a kid, yeah.
Really?
As a young child, I watched him a little bit.
Oh, wow, okay. I'm kind of surprised. Okay. Beavis and Butthead, yeah. I think the last movie, Beavis and Butthead movie, was either 96 or 98. Beavis and Butthead Do America, which was pretty excellent. You had the Red Hot Chili Peppers song in there, their version of Roller Coaster, which became pretty famous. And yeah, I grew up watching Beavis and Butthead with my friends. Even my dad liked it, so I don't know, it's a childhood thing. And a new movie was actually released, written and directed and voiced by Mike Judge, of course. So it was actually really good. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I don't think it's as good as the original movie, but man, for I don't know how long it's been, over 20 years, pretty good comeback for such a long time. It was pretty enjoyable. My dad, by the way, quick programming note, he will be the special guest host next week. So that should be interesting in your absence, Trent. Dear old dad is going to jump into your seat and be our co-host for Super Radio Brothers 309. But we're looking forward to it. My dad, Trent, was in tears like the first 10 minutes of that movie. It was pretty funny to see. He couldn't stop.
First of all, I think it's cool that we're going to have a guest host. That's really neat. It's kind of a nice little change of pace. And number two, with you being your dad, I mean, your dad's got some pipes. He's a great radio personality. You need to let him know that.
I'm going to let him know. I'll tell him you said that, Trent, for sure. Next time.
The show's in good hands. That's for sure.
Final episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi was really good. I don't think the series was, I think the top of the line for Disney and Star Wars was the Mandalorian series. First and second seasons were pretty excellent. Obi-Wan Kenobi's a step down, although the final episodes, I don't know if it was 12, 15-minute battle between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader was pretty epic. So the last episode makes the 6-episode series kind of worth it overall, but still not Disney's best Star Wars work, I think. Only Murders in the Building is back. That continues to be pretty excellent. And still watching Miss Marvel, pretty good as well. And I mentioned at the top of the show there was Stranger Things. I finished it, and it's funny. Stranger Things 4. I thought it was the last season of the series. I thought it was going to be a series finale. Obviously not. They haven't begun filming season 5 yet, but there's definitely going to be a season 5. I actually, maybe I'm in the minority. I'm not sure how it shakes up around the Stranger Things community, but I would definitely say season 4 was my favorite season since season 1. I thought season 2 was a clear drop in quality from season 1, and honestly, I don't know what they were doing in season 3. It was pretty terrible in my opinion. But I think season 4 is kind of back to a lot of the things that made season 1 great. So it was cool to see Stranger Things be good again, because that first season was pretty awesome and pretty epic. Yeah, and other than that, just a lot of baseball and barbecue and enjoying the super duper hot weather that we've been having. As a matter of fact, I went out the other night with the telescope, Trent, and it's probably 2:30 in the morning, and I'm sweating out there. That's how hot it's dark and it's late, and it's still so hot that I'm sweating out there. I did get some new discoveries in Messier 10 and Messier 56. I'll just brief. 56 was cool because I knew right away this is supposed to be a globular cluster, but that looks a little different, and get to higher magnification. And I know, most of the globular clusters, you got the illuminated core with a lot of hundreds of thousands of condensed stars just all stacked together. M56 was a little more spread out, and I could tell it was different. Usually what I'll do is I'll find the object first, and I'll be so excited that I found it, I'll go and read a whole bunch of stuff about it. So found M56, and I went back and read a bunch about it, and it turns out that yes, it's considered a globular cluster. However, a lot of scientists believe it could be the remains of a merged dwarf galaxy. So two dwarf galaxies colliding in the same way the Milky Way and the Andromeda galaxy will one day collide. But two dwarf galaxies collided, and what remains is M56. And it made me feel good because at this point I've found and seen so many globular clusters. For the most part, they look the same. Some are more spectacular than others. Nothing's more spectacular than M13. But M56, just right away, as soon as I saw it, it looked different. And then when I read, oh yeah, it is different, it made me feel good about, that I can identify that. Anyway, Trent, that's on my couch as well.
All right. Well, hey,
that's kind of off the couch, isn't it? How does that? I don't want to be wrong here. I don't want to categorize anything in the wrong way. Is a telescope outing? Would that be considered off the couch?
No.
No.
because you're in your own house. I mean,
technically, but I'm in the backyard, Trent.
Whatever. You can you can analyze that. That's not me for analyze. As long as you had a great time, that's all that matters. And by the way, again, I hope you have a great show next week with your dad hosting. That's going to be a great show.
Oh, no, I appreciate it. And you have an amazing, incredible, fun trip. It's going to be special. I know it.
Oh, yeah, it definitely will be, without question.
With that being said, we'll be back with Dear Old Dad next week. But until then, in the words of Bob Dylan, time is an ocean, but it ends at the shore. The Super Radio Brothers have reached the shore. See ya!
Bye, y'all.